Greeting. It is a pleasure to see you intact, Master.
And greetings from myself, I am Jake. Welcome back to Knights of the Old Republic 2. Last time we fixed up the turbo lift, went through the mining tunnels, and we made our way to the fuel depot, where we met a protocol droid and a corpse.
Master.
A corpse who, I'm reminded, is the person who's supposed to have controlled all of the droids. All of the droids had their voice controls, voice commands only set from this person who is now dead. Maybe that explains the mystery. Anywho, last time we went straight into the conversation with our new friend. So
Greeting. It is a pleasure
it
to
keeps
see
saying
you
greetings.
intact.
So I didn't get to explore it all. We got some broken down droids over here. Makes sense. This is the droid department. And we get our first workbench. Actually, not the first workbench. There's one in the prologue, which I skipped. And in here, sonic imprint sensor. Let's take a look at this. With the protocol droid's help, I have finished work on the sonic imprint sensors. I've installed them in the mining droids, but I'm locking up the original here to prevent the other miners from using its ability to record and play back voices to override the droid's voice print protocols. So obviously we need a voice print to get through to the airlock to get into the dormitory, and that may prove helpful, since the voice print is to the maintenance officer, who is now dead. But thankfully there are still some recordings of him, so we may be able to do something with that. But, real important thing, the workbench. This is a lot, one of the... Knights of the Old Republic 2 didn't have very many big gameplay upgrades from the first one, but this is one of them. Because in the first game, you would just have certain items, and you could only equip certain modifications to them. But in this game, they created this whole system where you can make your own parts for everything. So you can make inlays and overlays for armor, ranged upgrades for melee and for lightsabers, and there's so many more different kinds. It's just a much better system, a more interesting system. So not only can you pick up, underlays for certain things, you can create them as well. But just to demonstrate here, we got our miner uniform. I don't have any underlays at the moment, so that was a bad example. But I could have sworn. Oh, I'm misremembering. I thought the vibro cutter was upgradable, because the vibro cutter is actually a unique weapon. So it's supposed to be a vibro sword, but obviously for miners. Let me take a look here, because I can create a longsword, which does more damage but has a lower critical threat range, but it is upgradable as well. Well, shoot. But just to demonstrate, I did pick up an Ionite Edge, which does increased damage versus droids, as well as some ion damage. Contoured Grip increases your chance to hit, but decreases damage. Zabrak Grip increases your chance to hit, but decreases your defense, and also does increase damage. So you know what I'm actually going to do? I'm actually going to create a longsword. Thankfully, it only costs 2 components. We've been picking components from containers all around. You can break down anything you don't want as well. So like the heavy mining laser is only worth one. But like this iron... I think that either I've just picked up crap or the number of components you get is based on your repair skill, which mine is obviously at 0. But I'm going to create a longsword just to demonstrate this. So now I can equip or upgrade this longsword with the Zabrak Grip, which is actually that's really nice to get a damage, an attack modifier and bonus damage, and I got that Ionite Edge. So now doing increased damage and bonus damage to droids, bonus damage there, increased chance to hit, and -1 to defense, which I think it's actually worth it. I really haven't been getting hit, and just to do more damage is nice. I can also, if I want to, create an underlay for my uniform. Regeneration is usually what I go for, but let's see. Yeah, we'll go with the energy underlay for plus 10 resistance to, or immunity from, whoops, from energy damage. So any blasters, anything like that, going to do less damage. Oh, that's only armor. It's not robes. That's why I always create the the regeneration one. Whatever. So,
It is a pleasure to
equip the sword, obviously. Now, I could, of course, equip the vibro cutter, but that actually reduces my attack modifier. So if you take a look here, so we've got a +3 over here and a -3 on the vibro cutter, which decreases my chance to hit pretty substantially. But if I take that off, +7 attack modifier. So early game, until you specialize in 2-weapon fighting, it's worth a while just to have the one weapon, even if you're eventually going to go down that path and not go for the dueling benefits. Hello. So let's show off the new weapon. $14 damage. Awesome. Oh, they're throwing sonic charges at me. I don't think the prior ones did that. I think this is something new to this level. Did I just miss? Nicely done. Oop, we've got a maintenance droid over there. Switch to our blaster. Blast that. There we go. Got the other one. Nice. Ooh, they threw a poison grenade at me. I didn't know they could do that. Do I have... I do not have an antidote. That's really bad. Thankfully we have a whole bunch of med packs, but goodness. I never knew they did that. There we go. Alright, poison's worn off. Damage door. Oh, hello. Love the little dance they do. So these are in the new, the mining droid Mark IIs. They're actually not that tough. Oh, that's stun droid, by the way. It does I think it's a fortitude chance to stun them, obviously, since it's stun droid. But my wisdom is not that good, so pretty easy to resist that from me. I'm better off. Oh my god, he hit me for 10. Wow. Holy crap, these guys are tough. I did not remember them being that tough. Let's go for energy resistance. So this door is broken, but we've got a security door right here, and that opens up to the same area. Hello, friend. Safety gun. Oh. I'm just gonna get away from you from the fact. Oh, God. God damn it. I'm good at this game, I swear. Oh, no. Oh no! Everyone's going back. But I just one-shot both of the droids that came in. See, that's the benefit of all this upgrade stuff that you can do. You can do some really neat things with it. I thought there was a container in here. I guess not. But obviously don't need to break down that door. Now the droids were over here, but I guess they detected me and came over here. So anyway, let's take a look here. I knew there was a container. Yep. reflex package. This is another nice change from the first game. In the first game, you needed to take a feat in order to equip certain, what are they called? Implants. And it was, I think the higher ones were locked off to certain classes. It just wasn't a very good system. In this game, they made it so that it's based off of your constitution. So you need a higher constitution in order to equip higher implants. So this one gives a bonus to reflex saves. So dodging, things like that. All right. Got this station here. Some more logs.
Finished the sonic imprint sensor prototype for the mining droids. Everyone knows they need an upgrade. The sensor should allow me to issue voice commands to them rather than manually adjusting their routine each time the mining specifications change. I've been keeping the sensor in the maintenance workshop for the time being. I wanted to test it first by recording and playing back some simple voice commands.
So that's just another explanation of the sonic imprint sensor.
Finished my examination of the droids from the Ebonhawk freighter. The T3 unit looked like it had shut itself down. The protocol droid, however, made up for it. It talked my ear off for most of the hour, asking questions about the facility, the personnel, and so on. Still, it wanted to make itself useful, so I put it to work until its master wakes up from the med bay. It seems to have some skills in speaking to droid behavior cores, so there's been some trouble with some of the mining droids, so I'm signing off. Been speaking to the protocol droid about the Jedi in medbay. I thought they'd all gone away or been killed in the Jedi Civil War. The droid told me that his master is the only Jedi he knows of in all the galaxy, and that the Jedi had served in the Mandalorian Wars almost 10 years ago. That would have meant that the Jedi served under Revan for a time. Maybe the Jedi knows what happened to Revan after the end of the Jedi Civil War.
So that's a very interesting one. So first of all, it gives a little backstory on my character. So I served under Revan, but also that Revan has disappeared. Kind of mentioned that with Atten earlier, but no one knows where Revan has gone, and it's a big mystery that the game sets up.
Been too busy to enter a log for a while. There's been more and more accidents since that Jedi arrived. The miners are starting to get restless, especially Korta. Korta said the exchange is offering a huge bounty on Jedi Knights and that we can make a fortune if we sell the Jedi to Nar Shaddaa. Security shut down that idea pretty quick, but I don't think Korta and his men are going to give up that easy. I mentioned the trouble to the Jedi's protocol droid, and he seemed concerned about his master's safety. I told the droid not to worry. The Korta wouldn't...
More talk about Korta?
With the protocol droid's help, I made some upgrades to the sonic imprint sensor, using some of the droid's vocabulator subroutines. In addition to its ability to store and record voices, it now has the droid's full array of alien languages, including Basic. Should prove useful as a portable translator. I tried to make sure the protocol unit got some credit for helping fashion it, but the droid refused, saying the work was reward enough. I was thinking of installing the prototype in one of the mining droids as a test, and see what happens.
So that's actually, it's easy to miss that, but that's how you can understand different languages. Your character can understand certain different languages, but certain alien languages, but it's actually the sonic imprint sensor that serves as a translator. So, and you can see here, so we can use the sonic imprint sensor on the voice print ID. So there's two ways you can get the code for the voice block. One of them is to go through different logs throughout the game and find the ones where the maintenance officer shows up and use the sonic sensor. I'm going to show you the different one once we're done with this, but I'm just going to go through the logs to show everything off.
When the dock officer reported the droids repairing the Ebonhawk, I installed a voice print ID on the droid console system. Someone ordered them to repair that freighter, but I can't find a trace of the order anywhere. If anyone tries that again, they won't be able to do it from this terminal unless I let them. The voice print should cut any user off from the central functions unless I give the code.
Alright.
The maintenance check on the droids didn't help. If anything, the accidents have increased. Security interrogated me about the droids and they weren't too happy with my answers. I don't understand it though. These aren't combat models. They shouldn't even know how to attack. I can't help but think, what if somebody staged the initial trouble with the mining droids just to get them all sent to maintenance, and then did something to them? I think security's right. Someone's trying to sabotage this facility, and they're using the droids to do it. But why?
So that seems to indicate that it's not the dock officer doing all of this, and the droids are now on his command, so it kind of leaves, I guess it could be Corda, but that doesn't really make sense with the voice print ID, so, yeah. Let's check the emergency subroutines, check the exits from the fuel depot. So the containment field is active, the administration turbo lift is active, but the turbo lift is in shutdown, the airlock is active. So let's check the containment field. Containment field activated, breach in fuel lines detected, access to hangar bay denied. Check the source of the breach. The system is registering a blast from one of the main fuel lines. The containment field has been activated to keep the explosion isolated within the hangar bay and fuel lines. That would imply that the fuel lines connect directly to the hangar bay. If you could get access to the fuel lines, you could bypass the containment fields entirely. So let's check those fuel lines. Although the fuel lines are currently sealed because no ships are docked with the facility, they would automatically open if a ship did arrive. That would mean you would have to board the docked ship in order to access the fuel line to reach the hangar, however, which would be an extreme means of gaining access. So check other exits from the fuel depot. Let's check the turbo lift to the administration level. Access to fuel depot denied. Access to administration permitted. Turbo lift to administration level is programmed to automatically open when entering administration from the fuel depot. Check the turbo lift to the mining tunnels. Access is denied because there was a detonation detected. And last, check the airlock. And the airlock has been sealed from inside this level as if to prevent someone from opening it from the outside. Open door to airlock. Voice print identification required. Strangely enough, this console has been voice printed. Not only does it require a code, but the code has to be spoken in the user's voice, most likely that of the maintenance officer. Let's turn to the main functions, comm systems. They're inoperative. The signal unit has been destroyed, and it is inoperative. And let's check those cameras. We've got the containment fields. I think this is the same as the one we saw with T3, who is now in the fuel lines. Since no ships are currently docked at the facility, it is sealed. There appears to be a damaged T3 unit dumped into the fuel line. It may be your missing T3 unit. There also is some sort of metal case next to the T3 unit, but you can't make it out. It may have been deliberately dumped down there. And airlock camera. Bunch of floating droids in there. Let's take a look at that. We know what to do with floating droids. And they're floating mines. What fun. Go, get away. I believe there's one more. There we are. All right. And of course, security door locked. So, as I said, you can actually go back up to the this turbo lift actually works now. Just to demonstrate here. Which opens up this door back to the administration level. So you can talk to Atten if you want to. Let's check in with him and see how he's doing.
What? Found anything?
I found a talkative protocol droid in the fuel depot.
Yeah? Did you blow it up?
No, I thought about it though.
Yeah, well, watch your back. Droids can't be trusted.
And you can?
Look, I could have let you rot in those mining tunnels, and all I get from you is back talk. You
That's
know
a
what?
good point.
I don't trust you. For all I know, you could have caused all this trouble. In fact, you did just by being a Jedi. So before you start accusing me of anything, Jedi, maybe you better take a look at what you've done.
That's a good point. Just by being a Jedi, I caused all of this. So there's something about being a Jedi that just makes trouble follow you around. So the miners may be alive, they're sealed in the dormitory section.
So they are still alive. but the dormitory comm isn't picking up anything. Is there any way to get to them?
I need to open an airlock, but it's sealed with a voice print control by the maintenance officer.
Voice print? Great. That means he'd have to speak the code. And he's dead, right?
It looks that way.
There's ways to beat voice prints, though. If you can get samples of his voice and the right words, you should be able to fake the voice print code, if you know what it is. You know, I overheard the maintenance officer getting chewed out by the security officer. You might want to check the security office on this level and see if there's any voice samples stored in the logs. And maybe there's samples of the code in the maintenance officer's holologs, if you can find a way to record them.
I have a sonic sensor and the code. I just need to find the right words to record.
That's a start. See if you can find any recordings where the maintenance officer is speaking, and try to piece together the words to unlock the voice print.
I'll return if I find anything. So yeah, just cluing you in that there's a way around this, but there's actually another way, which is the way I normally do it. Just go back down here. Just use burst of speed to get back to where we need to go. Nope, miss some moraines. Minor sonic detonator. Not really worth having. So let's take a look at this body.
Greeting. It is a pleasure to see you intact, Master.
All right.
Greeting. It is a pleasure to see you intact, Master. How may I be of assistance?
All right, so what's that body there?
Answer. That is all that remains of the maintenance officer, Master. At the end, he was quite incoherent from the pain, and attempts to facilitate communications with him proved useless. I heard his dying screams as the droids he tended turned on him, mining him like a piece of asteroid rock.
Screams?
Recitation? Oh yes, Master. The record of his last moments were...
5 droids, burning through the outer door. They're forcing their way into the bay. Please, someone that... Oh no, they're through! Oh, my leg! They're burning through my leg! Oh, stop, please!
Addendum. His remaining attempts at communication are variations in decibel, Master, ranging from frenzied screams to gibbering inarticulate attempts to beg for his life.
Now, here's something fun. Wait, if you can play back his voice, can't you speak the code?
Objection. Master, to commit such an act would be in violation of the ethics programming most droids are believed to possess. I am afraid there is nothing that can be done.
Ethics programming that are believed to possess.
Irritated statement. Master, if you insist on echoing everything I say, this already tedious conversation is in danger of becoming even longer. Clarification. But yes, most droids are believed to possess ethics programming. Such programming would prevent me from using my incredible talents to break a voice print code.
And this is why it's great to have Persuade. I think you need Persuade after your charisma checks of 8, but that may be also by difficulty. So I understand if your limited functionality prevents you from mimicking the maintenance officer's voice accurately.
Irritated objection. Master, there is nothing wrong with my communications functionality. I will prove it. A recitation.
Maintenance control voice print ID R1B5.
There. Was that sufficient, Master?
Yes, I think that's about all I need.
Confused query. I am sorry, Master. Were you speaking to yourself?
Never mind. I'll be going there now. So yeah, if you have high enough speech, you don't have to bother finding all the things and piecing it together. You don't have to piece it together manually, but you can just skip all that. Which is why Persuade is great. Persuade is great fun in this game. So let's go back to the maintenance station and enter the voice print code.
Maintenance control voice print ID R1B5.
Open the door to the airlock with the maintenance officer override. Maintenance officer override. Boom. Should be close to leveling up. 835. Not that close. Isn't there... No, it's the next one. I always forget about this. Storage locker. Get a space suit. And I don't think you have to equip it. You just go out onto the exterior. And you'll automatically equip the space suit. It's not like I'm about to die. Now, I remember the first time I played this game, this was excruciatingly slow. But it seems to have been patched at some point, so you actually kind of comically move very quickly. This is, by the way, not how gravity works, but Star Wars never gets that right. And there's fuel being pumped out of the station. If you get caught in the little swirl, you will take damage. And there's actually no way to heal, so you can't actually die out here. It's just really easy to just power through through anyway. So now...
That's about time. I lost your signal after you left the mining tunnels. Now you're coming in clear.
Except I'm picking you up on the exterior of the facility, on the asteroid's surface. That can't be right.
Really? Maybe you should look up.
Huh? What are you doing out there?
I need to reach the miners in the dormitory section, and this is the only way to get there.
You're crazy, even for a Jedi. Look, you need to get out of there, quick.
What do you mean?
What little is left of the facility's venting systems have gone active, most likely from the explosions in the mining tunnels. They're venting Paraga's fuel deposits into space through the exterior vents, right in your path.
Can't you shut them down?
I can't. I'm locked out of the main systems here. I couldn't shut it down if I tried. The vents look like they've been purposely rerouted to vent the gases to the exterior. And only in the last few minutes. It's almost as if... Now what now? I don't believe this. There's a ship coming in, sending a docking code. I have a bad feeling about this.
And in comes a ship with someone with gray, cracked skin on it. This is surely going to be a good development. Now, I remember that scene inside the ship was actually a full motion video, but I think the restored content mod very wisely chose to redo that in engine, which is why there's that cut in the video. Really enjoy this scene. It's just, I mean, it's kind of boring, especially since I don't think you can skip it because there's no dialogue to skip. But it's a very, I don't know. I enjoy seeing really big things moving very precariously. I like ships. I like sailing ships, things like that.
He has come.
Yeah, so very obviously that was from the that little bit from Kreia as well as from the restore content on, because that's not where she is. So they had to put that together to fix that. But now there's a ship here, which because we read those terminals means that if we needed to get to the hangar bay, we can go through the fuel line over there. Actually can't see it from this angle, but it's also attached to the airlock up there. Gotta just sprint through this gas and into the dormitory. Thankfully, you also switch right back out of your airsuit when you're done. And would you believe there's droids in here? New longsword doing good work. Sound dampening overlay remains. And one of the big guys. Can't quite one-shot them. Ooh, should have used energy resistance. Alright. Security door here. Security failure. Yeah, so it's actually a dice roll, and so it's not just your skill. Your skill will determine if it's completely impossible, but you also just sometimes can't do it. Repair kit, that's not useful. Insulated gloves, adrenaline amplifier. Let me take a look at those. Adrenaline amplifier, saves reflex. Yeah, if I go to my character... well, that's fine. But we got gloves, insulated gloves, damage immunity versus fire and cold, which will actually be useful. Temporary, for a moment and a little bit. And there's another workbench if you want to. I don't think there's anything I want to make, because I can't put cells onto the sword I have. Another corpse, because of course there's corpses. Now the fire suppression systems have gone active, and I can't even make it to the dormitory section. I watched the turrets turn their carbonite to freeze rays on Mabin before he even got to the dormitory. He got halfway across the room. Fortunately, the range doesn't seem to go beyond the room itself, so I was able to remain safe in this corridor, but I didn't have any ranged weapons to take them out from a distance, and I didn't have a stealth field generator to sneak across them either. I tried unlocking the storage room door to see if there were any cold-resistant items or grenades I could use, but the door was sealed from the lockdown. I don't know enough about security systems to open it. I didn't have a sonic charge to blow the door open. Still, as long as the droids don't make it to this section, I should be alright. Clearly, it went perfectly for him. Could have been a woman. So, in here, fire suppression systems, as stated, especially things, they do not have long range, so you can just blink away at them. They are tough. I don't know if sonic detonators do anything to him. Barely. Jesus. Actually, let me just demonstrate this. So if you get close to them, they're supposed to do their cold blast. Yeah, and that can interrupt you. It can actually temporarily freeze you. I don't know what it checks on. I think it must be fortitude. That would make sense. But actually, with stun droid, you can just detonate them from a distance, which is nice. Hello. You wanna? There we go. Flexible underlay. That's for armor. Vibration cell is for vibro swords. The long sword I have is not a vibro sword. It's just a sword. Ooh, hello. Energy resistance. Jesus. You can do. There we go. Oh my god. Yeah, so this is a fire suppression droid. I think it's another way to make them a little tougher, because normally just one-shot these guys. Oh, energy resistance is already worn off. Actually, I don't need to worry about that. Unless the middle one comes around the corner. And I can see it, but it can't see me, and I have leveled up. Neat thing, so as you scale to light side or dark side, first you start with a little light-sided mist, and then eventually it fills up the background, and your pose changes, and some other stuff happens. So, let's see here. Not any persuade checks coming on, but I do like to keep that moving up. Let's move. Pure use. You know what? Demolitions. Yeah, I'm going to move demolitions up, even though it's costly. Things are getting a little tougher, so treat injury sounds good. Select another power. Still no none of the fun stuff. Yeah, I'll go for this one. Force Aura for better defense. Which I actually will not use right now. So these are the cold suppression things as well that can interrupt or even stun you. Okay. Goodness gracious. Gonna use energy resistance. Stop interrupting me. Okay. Blast door is locked, but console right here. So you can do repair or spikes. I don't have any spikes. That's not good. But I have plenty of parts, so fix that. So let's check the logs here. These appear nothing more than a long list of work assignments with the number of miners available decreasing over the past 3 days, citing several medbay logs. Let's check the cameras here. So that's to our west coming in. That's the dormitory. And the gas looks toxic, so we can use a spike to shut down the ventilation system. Return to camera functions. Dormitory east. No toxic gas, thankfully. Or maybe it's the same. Anyway, turbo lift to administration. Even more corpses, would you believe it? Comm systems. No sound coming from the dormitories. And dormitory lockdown. Alright. Gonna need this. Because I believe... Yep. Hi. Still not cracking through that. Alright. Well, I have energy resistance still up. I believe there's another one over here as well. Yep. Sweet. I think those are the only 2 droids in this area. Trying to remember everything. Okay, so you have this log terminal here. So you need to insert the data pad to play Hollow. So let's search for any of them, but we don't have anything here. Check the transmission. Oh, yeah. Yep. That's a thing that's going to happen. But, Administration Officer Corpse, and we have the log, which we need to put in here to play. So, Administrator.
This may be the beginning of a long record. It's about an hour after the facility suffered the explosion that triggered the emergency lockdown. Just finished helping the dock officer set up the transmission relay. Not much signal strength, but it's better than nothing. The transmission gives the code to open the turbo lift when or if help arrives. code is a simple group of 5 numbers. 3, 17, 13. Then the next 2 numbers are...
Sir, couldn't we contact the med bay? Maybe the Jedi's awake. If so, he could help us.
No good. The link to the medical computer was severed from the hub, just like the administration console. Even if the Jedi wakes up, how would we get the dormitory turbolift code to him? Without it, the turbolift to the administration level is locked down.
So, turbolift to the administrator from this area is locked down, and there's a code to do it. It's 13... What did he say it was?
This may be the... Just finish. The transmission gives the
3,
code to
17,
open the
13, and then 2 more numbers. So we don't know the full thing.
We just took an inventory of our supplies. We've got enough emergency rations in the dormitories to last almost a month. But with all the problems in the facility, I don't know how long we'll last. I wish we could contact the Jedi. Maybe he could... But no, he's still floating in that damn tank. Someone's played us for fools. And since KOTOR and his crew aren't locked in here with us, it's pretty clear who it was. If I ever catch up with that Mandalorian-loving son of a... At least the air scrubbers are still working, even though they're tied into the... Hey, what's happening to the ventilation system? This...
So I like that just to counterbalance KOTOR and his group, and Atten to an extent, they think that I, as a Jedi, could save them. It's a nice bit of just the different ways that people view people, but obviously they put the ventilation system was turned on, pumping gas in here, and it's toxic. Took care of that, obviously. Nothing in here. Wait a second. Nope. Officer. And damaged doors. Let's try if we can put that down. We cannot. So that's part of why I wanted to get demolitions up. Because I think there's a lab station coming up. And the only way to get in there is with putting a mine on it. And I think I can put... I think I can make a mine that will blow open that door. Let's see on the other side of the dormitory here. So this lock terminal is broken. Can't use that. Mandalorian melee shield. That's going to be useful. Oops. Don't need that. Exchange Shadowcaster and Erratican Band. Now, the Exchange Shadowcaster is, you would think that the stealth field generator is the only way you can generate a stealth field and enter stealth, but that's not true. This is another way you can do that. So it's not only is a stealth field generator, it increases your stealth and your awareness and dexterity. So if you are a stealth character, that's a nice bonus. An Erratican Band. Wisdom +1. That's useless in most situations. So, because it's you need 2 in order to get an increase to your modifier. So, Dock Officer Corpse. Got another log we can enter. Heavy bonded plates. That's more armor stuff. Another damaged door that we can't get behind. Nothing in here. Corpse here. And that's everything at a dormitory west. So let's pop in that log and see what we can do. This is why burst of speed is great. And it's great that it's a universal power. That was a nice change from the first game. So, now we've got another log, or holo log we can do.
We managed to get to the dormitories. We should be safe here. We've been trying to use the holo transmitter to beam a transmission to the administration level to end the lockdown. But the administration console's been severed from the main hub. Everyone thinks we should try to evacuate on our own as soon as possible. But there's no way to break the dormitory seals from the inside. I'm going to keep sending distress calls in the meantime. We've been trying to find a way to circumvent the lockdown and get to our hangar bay, but so far, no luck. The situation's worse than we thought. Even if we get out of here, we can't shut down the fuel depot force fields if a fuel leak was detected. If so, the only way off this asteroid is if a ship docks with us. But the only connection to the docking platform is on the administration level, and we can't get up to the docking bay while we're trapped here. I only hope someone survived the explosion in the mining tunnels. If not, then we're stranded here. Unless our transmission reaches a passing ship, or a Telos freighter. Managed to use the holo-transmitter here as a crude relay to beam short-burst transmissions outside the Paragas facility. With any luck, the transmission will carry beyond the asteroid field. We've set the emergency transmission on automatic playback. We're using a simple military flash code to transmit the code to the turbolifts, so maybe our rescuers can get down to the dormitory when they reach the station. Without those turbolift codes, our rescuers wouldn't be able to get here from the administration level. And without those codes, we wouldn't be able to get to the administration level if we found a way out on our own. The messages are short distress calls only, since we can't get much signal strength. It's pretty weak, so unless a ship is actively searching the area, it might be a long time before a ship picks up the message. After all, who would be scouring frequencies way out here looking for trouble?
So, pretty helpless situation. Alright. Nothing more we can do here. This is the wrong way. We'll come back with some mines to blow open the doors if I can. I think I will be able to do that. Because it doesn't matter what kind of mine you have to blow open the doors. Let's keep going here. And more fire extinguishers. Oh, that's right. There's a maintenance droid. Actually, it's fortunate that I... Ooh, I'm in range. Okay, interesting. No, don't target that. There we go. No, stupid. Because the explosion then did damage to that, so it's... Not only are you getting your healing, it's doing some damage. Stun droid. Oh, goody, you're here too! Oh, I'm getting interrupted by the stupid thing because I'm in range. No. Oh, I'm getting interrupted by you. Well, fuck off then. There. Stupid asshole. There we go. All right. Damaged cylinder. So I'm gonna need 3 grenades or mines to blow things open. Is it in here? Nope. I thought there was a lab station here. That's the next room. Oh, you threw a grenade at me. That's not nice. Alright. Is there anything here for a while? Security failure. No, there's nothing in here. Nice. Okay, so this next area is a little tough. I'm gonna use medpack. I'm going to use energy resistance and force aura. So now I have increased defense. Oh! Don't want to do that. And resistance to energy because there's droids all around here. Thankfully, I'm pretty good in melee. So let's do that. Excuse me. Am I not doing damage? I think the first time I hit, I didn't do damage. Not a perfect game. Oh, there's only 3 droids in here. Oh, because one came out. There we go. Alright, that wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Oh, got some some more corpses. Got some remains. Gideon Beacon. And another mining log. Got another lecture about contraband today. Security hasn't started doing spot checks in any of our quarters yet, so my cache in the lower bunk of my room in the eastern dormitory should be safe. You won't even know it's there unless you go looking for it. Corda came around again, asking if I had any special cargo to sell, but I was getting a bad feeling about how he was asking, so I stayed quiet about my stash. I'm going to keep quiet about the blaster I smuggled from Tilos and a few grenades in there just in case things get rough. The only benefit to having a room in the farthest from the door is that should buy me enough time to dump contraband if security does a surprise inspection. Standard survival kit, I think that just says chemicals in it, which will prove useful. Now, I'm not going to go back to the dormitory to get that stash just yet, because if we go over here, isn't this one locked? I could have sworn one of these doors was locked. But they both lead in here, so it doesn't matter anyway. Ah, yes. So, breath mask. And, is this a... Yeah, I swear they're never going to get around to fixing the ventilation systems here. And if the food processors back up again, then the next time the fumes start flooding the mess hall, I'd rather be dead than just nauseous. I'll keep the breath mask in here, just keep a repeat incident. So, breath mask. Complete immunity from poison. Don't need that just yet, but it will prove useful. Some more chemicals, some more chemicals. Alright, so now let's go in here. We'll equip the secure safety harness to increase demolition skill. And if I use the lab station, I should be able to make a couple mines. I can indeed. Oh, they cost 50. Okay. What can I break down for anything? Oh, deadly sonic mines are worth 50, so I can effectively convert these into mines that I can actually place down. That's great. So, get 2 minor frag mines, which is exactly what I need. So... need 3 frag mines. 1 for this damaged cylinder. Again, I don't think they do damage. I should probably test that at some point. Restorative underlay. Which is something you can put on robes, which effectively is what the mining uniform is. It's robes, not armor. And we heard mention of a secret stash down... Is it this one? Or is it that one? It'd be neat if it was behind the damaged door, so you needed the mine and the data pad to... Yeah, see, it doesn't do damage. Ooh! That didn't do enough. Huh. Do I need a better mine to do that? I do. Okay. Well, shit. Well, that sucks. Could have swore it's at the eastern side, but let's just check if the stash was over here, because I don't remember it being behind the damaged... No. No, he's definitely at the eastern side of the dormitory. Huh. Alright, so this is the unfortunate downside of not having demolitions. I probably should have taken that as a cross-class skill, but I could have sworn it was right here. Maybe it is behind there. Alright. Let's do one more thing. Oops. Because we're almost done on this level. some remains. Excellent. Driving the amplifier. Is that the second one of those? Yes. And here is Korta, so he was not the one behind all the sabotage. Plugged into a holo reader. So let's get that. I think you need to plug it in to the one back in the dormitory. So let's hear Korta's side of the story, because we saw that transmission earlier. And I don't even need any spikes to decode the encryption.
What did you want to talk to me about? I have to suit up and drill the 3219K asteroid claim within the hour, so talk quick.
I heard you had plans for the Jedi. About selling him to the exchange.
Yeah, but security already set their piece on that, didn't they? Nobody's getting sold to anyone.
Are they? I've seen the logs you've been accessing. Maybe the two of us could work something out.
It doesn't matter what we work out. We wouldn't make one hyperspace jump before what's left of the Republic was on us.
If you have a way off this station, I can cover our tracks. And ensure the Republic is not alerted to our presence.
Well, I may know someone. Works the system on special jobs. He may want to know details, but I might be able to arrange transport.
I've seen the logs. I know you've already asked him and given the details. Once he agrees, I can handle the rest.
Handle the rest? Like how?
When the time comes, I'll contact you via comlink. Maintenance out.
Since when did the maintenance officer grow some horns?
So the maintenance officer and and Korta were conspiring to sell me. So let's go back. Let's access this turbo lift console here. Access the camera logs. Recording 5 minutes after emergency lockdown.
Almost didn't make it out of the dormitory section before the lockdown, you murglak. You're cutting a little close, aren't you?
Yes, a regrettable miscalculation on my part. I'm contacting you because I'm picking up a subspace transmission from within that level. Is that your doing?
No, they must be trying to use the old relay system to send an emergency signal. I doubt they know what's really going on.
Hey, this turbo lift's locked down.
Try the code again, and don't worry about the miners and their transmission. By the time help arrives, we'll be all the way to Nar Shaddaa.
Oh, they won't be leaving the dormitories. The explosion within the tunnel has damaged the ventilation systems, causing breaches in the core exhaust conduits.
What? That's going to kill them all!
Not all of them, but I'm sending a number of mining droids to your location right now to correct that problem.
Korta, this turbo lift's locked down. The sequence isn't working.
Keep trying it! You! Why are you doing this? Why me?
You? It was never about you. The Jedi is all that interests me. But then you had to ruin everything by revealing his identity, and then trying to harm him. And that I cannot allow.
Statement. You are a risk, Korta. You are impulsive, crude, and soon, deceased.
Mocking query. Korta, are you dead yet? Smug statement. I believe I forgot to mention that I reversed the turbolift codes, in case you managed to get this far.
So, would you believe that the protocol droid, that just so happens to resemble an assassination droid and has talked about all the flawlessly timed cascade failures and, the satisfaction of hearing the miners die and or knowing that the miners died, would you believe that protocol droid is responsible for everything? It's not a great twist in my mind. I think it does too much to indicate that it's there. It could have done with being a little more subtle about it. But anyway, so let's try to open the turbolift door. And we can't do it. So you can either use your computer skills, you can destroy the console and force it open. I think that does damage to you. So we heard the code from the log terminal was 3, 17, 13, and then 2 numbers. And the protocol droid has said that it's been reversed. So what do 3, 17, and 13 have all in common? Why, they're prime numbers. So I believe it's 5, 7, 13, 17, 3. No? Then it must be 7, 5, 13, 17, 3. Yep. Super simple. Not super simple. I did not figure it out on my first run, but that gets us back to the administration level. But for now, I think that's more than enough for today. So we've made it through to the dormitories. There's a new threat on the horizon. Some gray crackled skin. Who knows what? Who's operating a ship? Who knows how? A lot of things coming up. But in the meantime, I have been Jake. This has been Knights of the Old Republic 2. Have a good one.